Hi guys, it's Chris. The stock market is currently booming thanks to AI and especially Nvidia. So I thought it might be a good time to do an update of our public portfolio on eToro. So right now everything is going up, and to the right we have all the Nvidia, all the Meta, all the Microsoft. Everything is either stable or going up, and we see that everything related to AI is holding this whole market. So that's some great news for tech investors, for crypto holders with the Bitcoin at all-time highs. But at the same time, you see some investments like Apple or Tesla that are going down. You see these stocks going down. So in the markets, you have different sections, different areas, and that's what we will talk about. And at the same time, I will do a market update of our public portfolio. So let's start right now. This is a February update because the month of February has ended. My name is Christophe Noor. I've been a popular investor on eToro since 2022, and I have averaged a 28% CAGR, compounded annual growth rate, over 7 years. So let's just put the mic just here. The goal with this public account for the eToro copiers is to build wealth at a steady pace, outperforming the S&P 500 in the long term, and the goal is to do 26% per year. That means a double every 3 years. The strategy has not changed this month. It's just to buy and hold great businesses. And with this public account, I will not do any shorting, no leverage, and no crypto investments because it's definitely too complex for the style of investing that I like. For our public portfolio, we have 14 great businesses, simple, strong, cheap businesses that I like a lot. And for this month, despite all the bull run, all the crypto investments going up, everything AI related, I did not buy or sell any stock this month. I just hold my biggest positions, and I like it this way. I have maybe 15% of my portfolio in cash, so I'm ready. If anything happen, if there is a 20% crash, 30% crash, we have some other pandemic, well, I'm ready to take advantage of these cheap opportunities. But for the moment, all the hype that I see in the markets tell me to hold some cash because these tree will not grow to the sky. Okay, the portfolio performance for this month of February. Well, we have some good performance and linked to the overall market, the S&P 500 that is going up. So this is a table of the performance since the portfolio is public on eToro. And for February, the portfolio has increased 8.1% compared to 5% for the S&P 500. And that gets a performance for the year of 2024 of 7.1% for our public portfolio compared to 6.8% for the S&P 500. So on overall, we do the same as the S&P 500 without the hype. So that's why I'm very confident in this portfolio. We have had some great gains in this portfolio, but not because we invested in Nvidia, not because we invested in Bitcoin or Ethereum, everything crypto related. We invested in strong businesses with competent management. And with that, we can outperform the markets with some reasonable valuation compared to nosebleed valuation sometimes for some tech companies. Again, the target is to do 26% compounded annual return. And let's talk about the overall markets. As I told you previously, AI is king right now. Everything related to AI or Nvidia or some other smaller companies that are tech and they invest in the future of AI. Well, all these companies are going higher and higher and higher, and everybody loves them. And all the analysts on Wall Street, well, they increase their target price for the stock. There is a bull momentum around this sector, and nobody knows if this will continue in the future. We have seen the same sentiment, the same shift in 2000 for Cisco and all the dot-com companies in 1995, 1996, 1997, 8, 9 to 2000. And the bull run can continue when revenue and earnings go up, like we've seen for Cisco in the 90s, for example. And then something stops. And then the revenue drops 30%. For Cisco, it was the case. We have the same situation for Nvidia, where earnings can be multiplied by 10, for example. And that's true that earnings are going up. The earnings of Nvidia are increasing more than the stock price. So on a relative basis, valuation is going down for Nvidia. But despite everything, all the hype around the sector cannot last forever, cannot last for 3, 4, 5 years. The sentiment is just so high. Everybody is just so optimistic about Nvidia. And all the young investors, new investors, they think Nvidia is the future. We've seen the same phenomenon for Tesla in 2020 when everybody invested in Tesla. That did a 10x. So you multiply by 10 your investment in 1 year, 2 years. And since 2020, well, the stock has done nothing. In 2, 3, 4 years, no performance for the stock compared to a stock market that has increased since. So no, I will not touch Nvidia and I will not touch the AI sector, especially in the moment. Inflation is still here, but slowly decreasing. Everything in the markets right now is going well, I would say. The labor market is strong. Wage inflation is good, but not out of control. So inflation is, I would say, in range, and the Fed is quite happy despite the geopolitical issues and the oil markets that has some issues right now. Despite all these tensions, well, inflation is at 3%, something like this. Core inflation is maybe at 4%, but I would not say that inflation is really high at the moment. So if we do not see a bank crisis or another pandemic or another shock, maybe the Fed will be right. And they talked about reducing the interest rates, having some interest rate cuts. They are data dependent. And if inflation picks up again to 3, 4, 5%, well, they will not cut interest rates. That's their strategy. So they wait that inflation is going down, slowly going down. And at this moment, when inflation is at 2%, they will cut rates. That's their plan. So we will see how it goes for 2024. And I'm curious to see if they will change their mind. There is a scenario where instead of cutting interest rates, well, the Fed increases interest rates. If there is some shock and inflation is going up again to 5, 6%, well, the economy is too hot and you need to increase interest rates. And I wonder how the stock market will react in this situation. We will see. That's a scenario that doesn't have a 0% probability rate, so that could happen. The US markets are at all-time highs. By the way, the Bitcoin is at an all-time high too. And the second largest economy, the China, is trying to help markets. They are trying to boost the economy without much leverage, so without the big stimulus that we've seen in the US. So the recovery, the Chinese recovery, will be longer, and you don't have a bazooka, a financial bazooka to help everybody with a huge amount of debt. But still, the Chinese government is trying to help by every measure they have. They are trying to help financial markets, stabilize financial markets. And we see that the Chinese companies right now are recovering. Some of them have already recovered and they have, I would say, flat revenues and increasing earnings. So they are recovering quite well. And I see more and more big value investors investing in China because now that everything has stabilized, you see some deals because companies still generate free cash flow, companies still generate earnings, and you have some very bad sentiment right now in China. So everybody hates China, but you have some great deals with companies that generate a lot of cash. So you have some deals there. Regarding the Magnificent Seven, Nvidia holds the whole market. That's crazy. The amount of hype around Nvidia is crazy. And as I'm talking right now, Nvidia is maybe the third largest US company when you take a look at market capitalization. So you have Apple, Microsoft, and then Nvidia. Nvidia is bigger than Google, bigger than Meta Platforms. And on the other hand, Tesla is falling, maybe like 20%, 30% since 2024. and Apple is falling also, and Meta is definitely back. We see Meta at a price of $500. Not 2 years ago, the price was $100. So yeah, a 5x of your investment in less than 2 years, that's awesome. And the business is stronger than ever. Well, everybody that doubted Mark Zuckerberg, they regret it right now, and the stock price is going up. And because earnings of Meta platforms, the earnings are strong, going up, the valuation is not excessive, and you have a P ratio at 25, 30 for an excellent company that deserves a premium. So I would not say Meta platforms, despite the 5x, the multiplication by 5 of the stock price, I would not say that Meta platforms is overvalued, egregiously overvalued. Maybe fairly valued, slightly overvalued, but you don't see an extreme valuation for the Meta platforms, and the growth can continue for the stock. So yeah, we see some interesting things in the market right now, with interest rates still at 5%. We have some people forecasting that interest rates will decrease or increase, but right now they are stable at around 5%. Our growth, let's talk numbers right now regarding our accounts. The numbers in February compared to January of this year. Regarding the eToro copiers, we have grown from 117 copiers to 146 copiers. So welcome everybody. For the eToro followers, we have grown from 1.2k followers to 1.5k followers. Welcome everybody again. And for the eToro AUC, the asset under copy, we've grown from $116,000 to $163,000. So with the big performance we have in 2024 and the increase in copiers, numbers of copiers, we have AUC growing, and that's great news. For the YouTube subscribers, we've grown from 1,047 subscribers to 1,102 subscribers. So let's talk about the future focus, and our first objective is to preserve capital for the public eToro account on eToro. By the way, it's public, you can check it online. Whenever I buy or sell, you will be informed, and you can see the daily movements of this public account when you type my name on eToro. The second objective is to put more YouTube content. I plan to upload more and more videos here. Some good, interesting videos about how to invest, my favorite picks of the moment. And this is linked to the Skool community that I created 1 month ago. I created this Skool community so that we can have some private group, and invest together, share ideas, etc. And you can have some private coaching, one-on-one coaching on how to invest. We have a call, you share your portfolio, I give you some advice on how to improve it. And if you have any question, well, you can ask any question you want in the Skool community. We have every week a Q&A call. You have some private classes that are not shown on YouTube, it's just for the Skool community. Some, I would say, advanced investing stuff, and I'm sharing everything inside the Skool community. And my final objective is to be the first popular investor in France. We see some growth on eToro, some growth in copiers, some growth in performance. And if I continue that way, I plan to be the first popular investor in France. Right now, I'm almost in the top 10. I think I'm the 11th of France. So the grind is still going, and I plan to be inside the top 10 popular investor in France very shortly. And I plan to be the first popular in France in a few months, in a few years. If I continue this way, I'm pretty confident that that will be the case. But I need to improve. I need to have a strong portfolio with some strong returns. And the top 10 investors in France right now are really strong. So the competition is high, and I will do my best for you. So again, I encourage you to join my Skool community. This is the first link in the description below. We have grown from 0 to 100 members in 1 month, and now this has become a paid community. But you can just try it out for 14 days, and if you don't like it, I reimburse you 100%. It's $49 per month, and I think that the value that you will get inside the Skool community is worth much more than $49 per month. My goal is to put so much value inside the Skool community that you will say that this is a steal. $49 is a steal. And I want the content to be so good the private coaching to be so good, the Q&A calls to be so good that you will tell your friends to come and I can make a living out of this community. That's my plan and I will do my best to reach this objective. That's it for this month. This was a quick update on the overall markets, on whether we bought or sold position for this month. And I would say that right now, I will be very happy if there is a pullback in the stock market. If there is some shock and a 10% pullback, 15% pullback, I have some cash to deploy. I have some things that I would love to buy if they drop 10 or 15%. So just being patient right now is enough for me. And I can do other things in the meantime, continue researching stocks, analyzing new investment ideas. But I would not be surprised if we have a 10-15% pullback in the markets. Because all the hype that we see in 2024, this cannot last forever. And I would be very surprised, actually, if all the AI hype continues for the whole year of 2024 and the markets continue to go up and up and up and up and up, and for AI for the rest of the year, that would be a great surprise. Everything can happen in the market, yes, but I would be very surprised if this happened. Either way, my portfolio is well positioned and 15% of cash is enough for me, enough to beat the market right now, enough to have strong companies in the portfolio, and I'm very comfortable with the portfolio we have now. And I wish you a great day. Feel free to check out the first link in the description below to join our Skool community. Bye bye.